Hello friends, welcome to Mycapod. I'm your host Manisha, and today I'm going to take you on a journey to explore the ecological culture between Lahore and Hunza. This is the region where I am currently running ecology retreats for writers and filmmakers to join me in the design of a curriculum where anyone who loves nature and wishes to learn from it and has a genuine desire to integrate nature's harmony into every area of our lives. This includes the gentle shift of an extractive economy into the AI future of ecological careers, starting with soft practices and theories. It's a whole world to explore. Once you get started, you will find the magic. The land between Lahore and Hunza stretches 1,019 kilometers, nearly 20 hours by road. It is not simply distance, it is ecological compression. You begin in the dense urban metabolism of Lahore, traffic, construction, expanding concrete, layered histories. You move north into irrigated agricultural plains, vast monoculture fields of wheat, rice, sugarcane, potatoes. Canals carve straight lines across land that once held ecological complexity, and then slowly the land begins to rise. Stone replaces brick, terraces appear, glacial rivers cut through valleys. By the time you reach Hunza, you are standing in fragile alpine ecosystems where climate change is visible, not theoretical. This corridor from plains to peaks is my regional study, and it is here that I am asking a deeper question. What is ecological civilization? Civilization is not simply infrastructure. It is not GDP, it is not technology. Civilization is a pattern of attention, and it is what we choose to notice, what we choose to cultivate, what we choose to ignore. Industrial civilization trained attention towards extraction, speed, scale, output. Ecological civilization asks something different. What if civilization were organized around regeneration, around long-term horizons, around relationship instead of dominance? This is not romanticism. It is structural redesign. In many regions of the world, including here, landscapes are presented as abundant, rich, culturally intact, and yes, there is beauty. But there are also tensions. Monoculture farming that depletes soil, mining in mountain regions, river systems under pressure, economic systems that reward short-term yield over long-term resistance. These are not accusations, these are observations from within a living region. An ecological civilization cannot begin with denial. It must begin with literacy. Now I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic. Silviculture. One of the fields guiding my thinking is silviculture, the art and science of tending forest, the soulful connection between humanity and our home, this alive and magical conscious being that we belong to, our planet, our Gaia. Not forestry as commodity, but forest culture. Silviculture understands that tending a forest is not about control, it is about responsiveness, observation, patience. adaptive culture in changing climates. When we apply this thinking beyond forests, something shifts. What if culture itself required tending? What if imagination required stewardship? What if communities required long-term civilization instead of extraction? This is where art enters. So now I will talk a little bit about the curriculum I am building to help people integrate and remember their ancient relationship with Gaia. Through Forest Gatekeepers on Patreon too, I am developing courses for Tier 3 about teaching natural crafts, both theories and practices, and how creative spaces can be designed to function as microecologies. In these spaces, we work with natural and reclaimed materials, fiber, wood, paper, stone, soil, not as aesthetic trend, but as lived ecology. When you sew with natural fiber, you learn about origin. When you repair instead of discard, you interpret extraction. When you make with what is locally available, you re-enter bioregion. This is how regenerative culture begins, not through slogans, but through practice. So why does this matter now? Many people sense a shift. Economic models are tightening, certainty is dissolving, professional identities feel unstable, especially those trained in finance, law, corporate systems. Many quietly long for something more grounded, more meaningful. Ecological civilization is not escape, it is skill transition. It is learning to see land, to document honestly, to create responsibly, to build culture slowly. So, in the coming months, we will begin hosting small retreats for writers and filmmakers along this Plains to Peaks corridor. These are not ecotourism experiences. These retreats are field study, not tourism. They are regional study immersions. We will explore field observation, introductions to silviculture principles, narrative documentation, material engagement in natural crafts, regenerative cultural design. We will ask, how do we witness land responsibly? How do we document ecological transition without sensationalism? How do we plant seeds of regenerative culture through story and craft? If you feel called to study this bioregion, not as spectator but as participant, you are welcome to walk with us. Ecological civilization is not a future slogan. It is a present discipline. It begins in how we pay attention. It grows in how we practice. It matures in how we teach. And so this is the beginning of season 1 of Mycapod. We are learning in public. We are building slowly, stepping lightly, and the gatekeepers are learning. Thank you for listening, and until later, take care.